Jones, and today we're going to be talking about swing trading versus scalping, and which is the better trading style. Now, to be honest, there isn't really any main trading style that is better than another one, but each one does have its pros and cons compared to another. So first, let's even talk about for those who might not know what scalping and swing trading, what all that type stuff means. So, in short summary, scalping is very quick. As you can see here on my screen, I'm using the candlestick chart. This is what chart you typically use when you're being a scalper or a scalping type trader. And so you use a candlestick chart like so. Sometimes you'll use indicators. Like I know a lot of people use indicators. I've used indicators myself in the past. So I typically use moving averages for my indicators. But you'll have an indicator on here. You'll have your candlesticks. You'll have it on whatever time period as far as chart. Personally, when I'm scalping, I use the 1 minute chart. And so, boom, as you can see, it gives you the 1 minute time frame. I'm looking at Apple, and you just continue to read it from there, and you trade off of the setups that you will see here. Now, I'm not going to necessarily tell you what those setups are. You got to sign up for the course for that. But you would trade based off the setups. You got the volume down here at the bottom, and you got the time as well. I see the time on this platform, which is TradingView. It's off right now, but it's fine as long as the chart's accurate. That's all we need to worry about. But anyways, that's what scalping is. And then you have swing trading. Swing trading is a bit more passive and a lot more long-term. Takes longer periods of time for you to make your money. While scalping, like I said, is a lot quicker. You trade off of this, so you make your money a lot faster because you're typically getting in and out. Well, not typically, but all the time you're getting in and out the market in the same day within minutes. Like you don't really scalp for no hour. That's a long time. That's a long time to be scalping. I ain't gonna lie. But like I said, swing trading, longer term, more passive, takes time to make your money, but typically will give you a bigger return because of time equity. The more time you're in it, and it's of course doing well. And of course, if you're losing, you're just losing. You probably need to cut your losses. But the more time you're in it, typically this is just a general rule. If you're up, the more money that you will make because you have more time to make that money. Like scalping is smaller gains. So it really all depends on what you want and how you want to make your money as well. But overall, let's go ahead and get into the pros and cons of both. So, number one, we're going to start off with scalping. What are the pros? Pro number one for scalping, like I said, you make your money a lot faster since you're getting in and out the same day, and you can make multiple trades in a day. So you make your money a lot faster. You get your profits a lot faster. So if you need money to, I know a lot of traders do this, especially ones who are just doing trading full time. If you need money to go out and eat, if you want to pay your bills, whatever you want to do, you can go ahead, get into the market, scalp real quick, and then take the money out or take some money out of your account and go do whatever you want with it. And so it basically gives you instant supply of income to be able to do whatever you want with at any time in at any moment. So number one, you make your money a lot faster. Number two, I would say one of the biggest pros with scalping is you don't have to spend a lot of time in the markets. Now you do have to spend time in the markets, but you don't have to spend a lot of time, especially not on a day-to-day basis when you're a scalper and when you're mainly scalping. Like at most, personally myself, I only spend about 20-30 minutes at most, and that's very rare for me to spend 30 minutes on scalping. Well, when I'm scalping, so 20 to 30 minutes, but it's typically more than 15 to 20 on average for how long a scalper stays in the market, because you're not going to stay here all day. If the setup's not there, sometimes you just don't trade for the day. If the setups just come later, but you already know the pattern, so you know it's just going to come later, you either get in at that time period, and I am talking about myself personally and what my students do. I don't know about other traders because I don't know what they do. But you might get in at another time period, like you know this company's going to do this at 10 a.m. or I'm going to just use the company I have on the screen right now, which is Microsoft. I know Microsoft is going to fall back at 12 p.m. I'm not saying that actually is. I'm making an example here just to have a little disclaimer. But I know Microsoft falls back at 12 p.m. every day, so I could go ahead and let Microsoft, let's see, it's running up for today, so I know historically still going to fall back at 12, so I can go ahead and get in my entry, or I'll just wait until 12 and then get in my entry at 12 o'clock and scalp it from there. So it all depends on what you want to do. You don't necessarily have to scalp as soon as the market opens if you don't want to. Now, I will say most traders do because that's when the most opportunities are presented, but it really just depends on your schedule, how everything works for you, and what you want to do. A lot of this stuff just depends on you, to be honest, when it comes to trading and even just finding your trading style. But again, pro number 2 would have to be you don't have to spend a lot of time here. Number 3, you don't have to necessarily do a lot of research when you're being a scalper. Now, of course, that goes back to the time aspect that I was talking about, because as a scalper, the only research you're really doing, besides some of the basic fundamentals, is you're just going back and looking at the charts and, like I said, finding those patterns, because that will just help out with your scalping. But to be honest, you don't technically have to do that, but it really does help with your scalping and increase it tenfold. And so, like I said, but when you're going back and just looking at patterns based off the charts, it really doesn't take that long to do so. I don't know why is the chart messed up like this. Weird. But like I said, it doesn't really take much time to do so. So I would say that's the last pro. Now we're going to go over the cons for being a scalper and scalping. Con number 1, you can take a lot of losses, especially if you keep on doing it and you don't know how to cut your losses or stop trading for the day. I know a lot of beginning traders do this, especially if they start off good with the scalping. Let's say, I'll give you an example. So I'm a scalper. I'm making a whole bunch of money. I'm getting consistent trades. Boom, I take my first loss for the day. Okay, fine. I get into another scalp. Boom, I took another loss. Okay, I'm gonna regroup. Maybe I even go to a different company. Boom, I take another loss, and you just keep the cycle repeating. And so you can actually lose a lot of money because of the compounding effect when you are scalping in very short periods of time. So you do have to be careful with not going on a losing streak, because losing streaks are a bit hard to get off of depending on who you are. But like I said, you want to make sure you don't get on those losing streaks and lose a whole bunch of money that you possibly just made, or lose all your profits, or possibly even some of your own personal funds. So you want to be careful with not consistently losing. So that's a big thing. You can lose a lot of money in a short period of time with scalping. I would say another other con to scalping is if you don't find a setup for a minute. You'll spend a lot of time. Well, I won't say a lot of time, but you'll spend quite a bit of time at the computer or at your phone looking for that setup. If you don't find a setup that is profitable, or if you can't find the setups for the day, then sometimes some people, if you stay at the computer all day, just really, to be honest, wasting time. Sometimes what I do, if I don't find a setup, I go to either a different trading style, like swing trading, or I'll just get out the market for the day. But being able to not be able to find the setups can be very frustrating for a scalper. And I will say the biggest thing is, or the biggest con of being a scalper, is a lot of scalpers, they force trades when the setup's not there, because you want to make money. It's quick, it's fast, it's easy, it's fun, and but you don't see the setups there, but you still just want to make a trade and you want to force something, so you do, and typically 9 times out of 10 it's going to cost you money. So you got to be very careful, especially as a scalper, not to force your trades. I'm going to say that again. Don't force trades, because like I said, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose. But I would say those are the pros and cons of scalping. So next, we're going to go onto the pros and cons for swing trading. So we're going to start off with the pros with swing trading. So pro number 1, I would have to say for swing trading, is mainly that you can make a large sums of money without doing much, at least when you're technically doing the trade. Because I've had swing trades where I've made $20, $30, $40, $50,000 pretty easily, and I didn't do anything for months. So that's the biggest thing about swing trading. One of the biggest pros is you can make a lot of money, you can cash out, and it doesn't have to be one big cash out on one trade, or a whole bunch of smaller cash outs on, well, smaller trades and other swing trades that you've done. So you can make a large amount of money in technically a short period of time, because you're cashing out at one big time. Or you can just cash out consistently. Let's say I do a swing trade every month. Boom, I cash out. You take that money to go pay bills, take a vacation, whatever you want to do with it. I'll give you an example. I remember about 2 months from at the time of this recording this video, I did in one of my accounts, I did a small cash out of all the, well, I don't say all, but a high amount of swing trades I had. And these swing trades were up five to $10,000, and it totaled up to about $60,000 that I made in one day. I made someone's yearly salary in one day thanks to swing trading. So I would say, and I didn't do anything for months. I just let them sit and wait. So if you want to be more passive and make passive income swing trading, it's definitely for you. If you want to do more active, then scalping, I would say, is definitely for you. So that's the first pro. You can make a large amount of money in technically a short time period or time span. The next pro I would have to say, which comes with swing trading, is that mainly you're not doing anything for possibly months. Like I just given my example earlier, I didn't do anything with those trades or the account for months because I didn't have to. I didn't have to do anything and just wait and make sure my company's going in the direction I want them to go, or that I'm not losing where I need to cut my losses. And then for the most part, like I said, it just makes me money. So you're not doing much. So I'm working on my business. I'm going playing football. I'm getting into high school now. So I can just focus on that stuff and I'm still making money in the market. So that's the biggest strategy that I do in order to, or this is the main strategy that I use besides just normal investing and position trading, is I just have my swing trades already set up in place and I can go on and move on with my life. So it's very passive. You don't have to do a lot. And so I would say the last pro when it comes to being a swing trader is, again, that time factor. You have a lot more time on your hands once the trade is done. And after you've already cashed out the trade, you've made a lot of money. And so you can do whatever you want with the money, or you could just not trade again. So it really all just depends on what you want to do. So I would say that's the third pro of being a swing trader, is really just having a lot more free time on your hands. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the cons. So con number one, it takes a lot of research because you want to be accurate, because typically when you're swing trading, it is going to be a bigger investment as far as upfront. So because you're putting it out, you're putting your trade months out. And personally, for my companies I deal with, they're in their four or five, some of them in their $700 to $800. And so them companies, their minimum you're gonna pay for even one contract is at least about $5,000, possibly $10,000. So with swing trading, it's a lot more expensive, and it's gonna cost you a lot more. So you want to be very accurate with your trades. If you're not accurate and you're losing on your swing trading, it can cost you a lot of money, and it costs you a lot of time as well because you were just hoping, wait. So it costs you a lot. I would say the next con with swing trading is it takes a lot of upfront research before you even make the trades, or before you even make the trades. It takes a lot of research to make sure you have that accuracy on point. So that can take, sometimes I won't say, I might research about a day or two before I even make a trade, just to be sure. Now, I'm a very conservative person, so that's my own personal style of doing things. But just to be sure, to make sure I'm not wasting my money and time, you have to do a lot of research and make sure you're getting in at a good time, making sure you do your fundamentals, you check everything, the technicals, you're looking at the charts, you read the company, and you're looking at everything you need to do before you make your trade. So it is going to cost you quite a bit of time in order to research before you even make the trades and before you can even get to that point and start just making money on a consistent basis with swing trading, where you're just sitting and resting or going on with your life. So I would say that's the second con with being a swing trader. Third con I would have to say with being a swing trader is actually similar to scalping, where you're not able to find a setup for long periods of time. That, or you're not really focused on the market too much. And so when you do go back to the market, or let's say you took a break and you do go back to the market and you're looking to swing trade and you're looking for that setup and you can't find it, that can be a very frustrating process, trying to be able to find those setups again, because it's not just doing the research. You get the research to make sure you're accurate and you're right on what you're looking at. But before you even do that, make sure the opportunities are there. If the opportunities are there, you can go months without swing trading, which can be, for some, depending on how you set up your trades and how everything's set up for you, can be a bit detrimental. So overall, like I said, there isn't any one main trading style that's better than the other. as far as between swing trading and scalping. I personally like the swing trade more. It's because I've been doing it for a longer period of time, so I've just became a lot better at it. But it really just depends overall on your goals. Even when picking a trading style, it really just depends on your goals and how you want to make your money. That's the biggest thing. And how much money you plan on making, how much time you can dedicate to this, and just going through the whole process. But overall, like I said, it really just depends on you. Do what you want to do as far as and what trading style works best for you. I would suggest investing in a course and not just trying to get out here watch other YouTube videos on specifically how to trade and get into everything. I would invest in a course because investing in yourself is the best thing you can do. But with that being said, this has been Scalping versus Swing Trading, the pros and cons. I'm Christian, and that's the truth, and I'm walking in it. Peace.